So let's go to our add payment view. And here we are passing a loan, which loan is required in order to add payments. But then we want to pass a var payment of type payment, but this is an optional. This will be passed only if we are in editing mode. So if we pass a payment here, it means that we want to edit this specific payment and not create a new payment. So once we pass this payment, what we need to do is to go to our view model, add payment view model. And in our view model, I want to do the same thing as we have with our loan, but also add a payment so that we have a payment here to work with. And we have a function, let's get rid of this, our loan is, we have a function set loan object. We duplicate this and say set payment object, which will be payment of type payment, self payment. This is actually an optional, is equals to payment. Okay, so every time we call this function, if we pass any payment, we will set it to our payment, or if we pass a nil, anyway, our payment is an optional, so we will set it to nil. So let's go back to, actually no, before we go back, here we have the save function, which should be dynamically calling a different function depending if we have a payment or not. So let's fix this. I will say if we have a payment, payment is not equals to nil. If we have a payment, it means we want to update it. So I will say update payment. Otherwise, we want to create the payment. Okay, so this is like a short if statement. So update payment will be super easy. We already have a payment, but let's just double check with a card. Let payment is equals to payment else return. So if we have a payment, we want to edit this payment. So we say payment.amount is equals to double and our amount, which is this. Otherwise, if something went wrong, we set it to 0. And the date, payment.date is equals to date. And once we do this set, we say persistent controller shared dot save. And this will save our update. We need one more thing to do. In case if we are coming to our add payment view and we are passing a payment, we want to take the information of that payment and populate our date and amount. So if we have that, where are we? In our payment view model. So here I'm going to say a function that will set up our edit view. So let's say func setup edit view. Again, let's make sure that we do have a payment. And if we do, we say our amount is equals to the payment amount, and our date that we are displaying is equals to payment or update. And this amount actually, because our amount is a string, let's use string interpolation here and get whatever our amount is into a string so that we can publish this and our add payment view will receive this. So in our add payment view, on our appear, we are setting the loan object. Then we want to set the payment object with our payment, which can be nil, and we don't actually care because we can pass a nil to that. And finally, we say view model setup edit view. So if we have a payment, it will do something. Otherwise, we don't really care. There is nothing there. Now, the final thing is navigation title. Remember, this depends on our payment. So we say payment is not equals to nil. If it's not equals to nil, we are in edit payment. Otherwise, we are add payment. Let's see, the save button is all set. Now this view is all nice and set. The only thing is missing. How do we send this payment here? So let's go to the place that we are actually calling this add view, which is in our all loans. Add payment, we are going there. But if we go to our payments, this for each, and we have a payment cell, this should be a navigation link, so that whenever we click on this payment cell, which is here, whenever we click on it, we want to navigate to our add payment view, yes, which is also add kind of edit payment view. So if I put a navigation link with value and label, value will be our destination dot add payment, and this says give me a loan. Okay, we can give it a loan because we have a loan here. Yeah, we will pass the loan, but how we pass this payment now there? Let's put a label, which is our payment cell. So now we need to find a way to pass our payment and the loan to our add payment view. Let's go to our add payment, this destination case payment loan, and then we say we want to pass also a payment, which is optional and by default is nil. The reason I'm setting this default value is that in our payments here, when we click on the add button, which is here, we are passing only our loan. So if we didn't set the default value here, you should have come and say that I want to pass nil as a payment. Because we don't want to do that, we set it by default to be nil, and we will pass it here when we actually need to pass. So this will be payment. So now we need to go to our all loans view, and where our navigation destination is, now it complains that add payment view is, in this case, it takes a loan and let payment. Now we can pass a payment of payment, because remember this add payment has this now optional payment as well. So we will pass that optional payment to this, which is again optional payment. So let's rerun, and all being well, we should have the functionality ready. So final test here. Now you can see our arrow appears. If I click on it, it sets up our view with the information. Let's make it 10,000 and save it. And now you can see our view is updated with the new value. And also our animation is updated and our date is updated as well. Let's create another one for 5,000. And let's do this for 2025, so we can see our grouping. And then let's change the date to be 2024. And this is changing as well. So we can also delete this, which is updating everything else. Alrighty, I think that's it. We can create a loan, we can create a payment, we can edit a payment, we can delete a payment, we can delete a loan, and we have all our nice bar with all the information. So hopefully you liked it, and if you did, check out our YouTube channel, and also check out our website iosdevschool.com for other cool tutorials there.